Welcome back to Terror by the Bay. I'm David. Okay, this is interesting news that busted out today. This is involving the January 6th insurrection case in Judge Chutkan's court. She set a schedule on the January 6th case, and that will allow prosecutors to release never before seen evidence such as grand jury transcripts ahead of the presidential election. So on September 26th, the prosecutors have up until September 26th to file their evidence regarding Trump's immunity plea and such in the January 6th case. That evidence the prosecutors reveal in late September may not immediately become public, but Judge Chutkan would be able to control its release. So she'll have a say as to when that would be available to the general public to see. It is speculated there will be redactions on it. So the media will get a hold of it. Likely it will come out before the elections because it's being turned in at the end of September. And so you have a whole month plus a week or so to 2 weeks between that and election day. Additionally, on her docket, they're going to discuss the immunity matter with the deadline for the final briefs on immunity being set for October 29th. There is no hearing scheduled on the immunity question in her new order, but she could request oral arguments thereafter. So what does that mean? It means we're not going to have this case before the election. I don't know if there will be an evidentiary hearing before the election. That's not on the docket. But the briefs as to whether Trump is immune will happen at the end of October. Beyond the immunity issue, Chutkan's new order sets deadlines for a number of substantive filings to be submitted before the election. She has set a timeline for Trump's challenge to the indictment on statutory grounds to be briefed in October. She also requested that Trump file his challenge to the legality of Smith's appointment and for the special counsel to respond in late October with the final brief on that issue on November 7th. Sorry, phone was buzzing in the background. Telemarketers. I could be getting a poll. I'm sending it to voicemail. They can go there. At the scheduling hearing, Judge Chutkan, which was today, September 5th, Judge Chutkan made it clear that she would not take into account the presidential campaign in crafting her next steps on the case. So, there you go. I don't think there's anything else here. Smith's team said on Thursday that they wanted to file an initial brief that would include substantial exhibits and would lay out for the judge the context, form, and content of relevant evidence in the case, including evidence not in the indictment. One of the things they're arguing about, Trump's lawyers say, well, Mike Pence should be covered by presidential immunity. And therefore his testimony shouldn't be counted and the case should be dismissed. That's not going to happen. Okay, so what did we learn from all this? Judge Chutkan said by the end of September 26th, which is 3 weeks from now, Jack Smith can submit documents. And he's basically saying, oh, we're going to submit documents, all right, all sorts of documents, including documents that aren't in the indictment. He's going to bring the tea. 3 weeks till tea time. Now, Judge Chutkan may not release those on the 26th. There might have to be some redactions before they're released. But this is something that could happen probably not by the end of September, but by October. I would say by early to mid-October, we might have some of this information out. I don't think Donald's going to be really, really excited about this. That's just my gut feeling on that. But let's take a look at Judge Chutkan and the information that's going to come out September 26th. So I'm going to look at Jack Smith and the evidence that he's going to submit on September 26th, Judge Chutkan. What does that look like? And in case you didn't know, this is for entertainment purposes only. Foundation of the reading is the Seven of Coins. The look on his face. Which of these tasty pieces of evidence do I want to present? There's a veritable bush of evidence, of valuable evidence to present. And Jack Smith gets to pick and choose what he wants to submit. You know, again, as the card goes, you reap what you sow. Trump and his actions have left a lot of ripe fruit to be presented. It's a whole new game because there's not only going to be the old hits, but now there's going to be new stuff coming on. And you know what's going to happen when the new stuff comes on, right? The media is going to gobble it up. When this new evidence hits, the media is going to be like, oh my God, Trump had said this, or he had done that, or this is what's going on with that. This, you know, as much as it appears that the corporate media is owned by right-wing owners, and they seem to be not reporting the news. They're kind of editorializing things. This stuff, this actually really parallels well with Susan Lynn's broadcast today. Guilty pleasure. I got to listen to it on my drive home today, where she was talking about how how the media kind of filters things, but this stuff is going to be so juicy that they can't not report on it. They have to report on it. It's too good. The tea is too sweet to just leave in the cup. The tea will be spilled, and it will go forward. Oh, yes, it will. In the past, the Queen of Cups. Multiple levels on keeping a lid on things. Jack Smith and his team have done a remarkable job of not leaking out information. He's been dead quiet, and the media has not been reporting on this case at all because it's been delayed. The Supreme Court put a lid on this case happening before the election. Now, we could have evidentiary hearings before the election. It doesn't appear that way. And I only say that because I don't know if the evidentiary hearings can happen before the immunity discussion. It wasn't on her docket. And if she's saying that the evidence can come in at the end of September, obviously there's going to have to be challenges to that and things going on. So I don't know if there will be an evidentiary hearing. Maybe this is the thing that the intuitives have been seeing about evidence coming to bear prior to the election. It could be this stuff right here. Not even a hearing. It's just what Jack Smith has released. Oh, geez. Current situation is the Ace of Swords. Judge Chutkan will get to the bottom of this. Justice will be served. People will see what happened. And I think, again, the evidence that Jack Smith is going to release is going to be damning. Not when you got an Ace of Swords there, in that position, that's a no good. And what do you want for a pair of aces? Overarching energy is the Ace of Wands. There's going to be big action. This evidence, when it's released, is going to cause a big reaction. There's going to be a big reaction from Trump and his attorneys. Trump is likely blowing up Truth. I would assume Trump is blowing up Truth Social right now with the corrupt Judge Chutkan and, you know, weirdo Jack Smith, or whatever he calls Jack Smith. Just saying how he's being railroaded in this, and it's a witch hunt and unfair, and he's immune, and there was no insurrection, and they're patriots. No, whatever word salad ramble that he'll go on it. But that's not going to stop the fact of the matter that justice is here, and it's taking a big action with it. Oh, God. And the lesson to be learned is you've kept a lid on the truth long enough, the truth is going to be revealed. And woe be to Donald Trump and his lawyers as the truth is revealed. It's, strong evidence of what happened, who did what, who knew what when what was happening. The news media is going to carry it. They cannot not carry it. This is pure ratings gold. Now, will Fox News, or I should say Fox Entertainment, will they try and undercut it? Yeah, probably. They'll report like the lighter stuff on it, and then the opinion hosts will go to town defending Trump. But they will report on it. Whatever the evidence is, they'll report on it. They'll try and convince their viewers that it's no big deal, that sort of thing. At least that's what historically they've done. I don't see any reason why they would change course intact. Not before the election, anyways. Okay, how will the public react when this information comes out? How will the public react? Little four-carder on how the public will react when Jack Smith's information comes out. I kind of want to keep this one on the top. I'm actually going to do two signifiers because this one came out all by itself. The public's going to celebrate, and it's going to feel like there's a lot of information that's being shared, but there's going to be some redaction. Maybe there's a lot of redaction, but there's a lot of information being shared. We have a better understanding of what's going on, and it's something of a gift because it happens before the elections. Eight of Swords, the Strength card, and the Five of Swords with the Moon card underneath. I think basically we're celebrating because some of the information, we're getting new information that's coming on here. Whether it's feeding the lunacy that led to the insurrection, or if it's just hidden information that's now being revealed, because we had the Sun card on the lesson to be learned. The mystery underneath this is being revealed. Not all of it, a small part of it's going to be revealed, but some of it's going to be revealed. And again, Strength card, this was the outcome. As people get it, they get the same thing. They're going to see the strength of the case, and they're going to see exactly who was responsible for what during January 6th. The Eight of Swords, I'm trying to sort of explain these two cards here. The restriction on the information is being revealed. And in some ways, it's like, hey, if you want to still support Donald Trump on it, you can do that, but you're being a willing hostage at that point. Because at this point, as the information's being released, you're being allowed to see everything that happened. You're allowed to set yourself free from your preconceived notions. Additionally, it's going to show how, who was in charge and who knew what. This is not Donald Trump being a victim. This is Donald Trump knowingly and willingly doing what he did. I think that's going to be the big reveal over here, is that, Donald Trump will say that he was a victim and the January 6th people were victims. They weren't. They're perpetrators. And this information is going to show that. It's going to be difficult. And I think also what that information is going to show, it's going to start implicating other people that were involved. Well, yeah. Although this is a case against Trump, Trump did not do this by himself. He had a battery of people to help him. And those are the folks that are going to be spending a lot more time in prison. More than Trump? Yes. Why more than Trump? Well, you have to live long enough to stay in prison. Again, I wish Donald Trump a nice long 20 to 30 healthy years of living so that he can spend every one of them behind bars. But I don't think I'm going to get... That's kind of a dark thing and such, and I probably won't get that little hope in Dream. But, that's kind of the downside of... if you wish for immortality or eternal youth. I was watching a Twilight Zone episode with that, and the guy got busted for murder, and he got to spend life imprisonment. So you take your eternal life and spend it behind bars. Donald Trump deserves to spend decades behind bars. He won't. He won't live that long. He won't be sane that long. You know what I mean? He's already on a downward spiral. He may never see the inside of a prison cell simply because he's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. All right, so the public, I think, is going to be impressed with what they see. How long before Judge Chutkan shares information from Jack Smith? Let's see, a little four-carder if we can get a vibe on that. Knight of Wands. It's not going to be right away. It's going to be slow and steady. I don't know. That might be, you don't get a full release. Maybe you get portions of it after it's been redacted. But that would tell me it's going to be cautious. It's going forward, but it's going to be cautious. So it's not going to be like the same day or within a week. They'll take the time to go through it. Got the King of Cups, the Queen of Wands, Nine of Swords, and the Eight of Coins. We're looking at the end of September. This could be like 8 days. If it comes out on September 26th, that would be September 34th, and there's only 30 days in September, so that would make it October 4th. And October 4th, I think, is a Monday. Let me check my phone real quick here. Now that the... yeah, October 4th would be a Friday. This could be released on like the end of the first week of October or the beginning of the second week of October. It's almost like by the 8th day, the information releases. By the 9th day, Trump's headaches have begun. The anxiety has begun. I think this is Judge Chutkan deciding when it's going to go. She's going to do this in a mature type of manner. There's going to be work to make sure that what's released is defendable, and you're not compromising evidence or anything along those lines. I'm only saying 9 days after the 26th because I got a 9 card on there. It could be 8 to 9 weeks, but that seems like a really long time. I suspect it's more like 8 to 9 days. Probably not 8 to 9 hours. But yeah, it does look like she will release that information, and it's going to... Trump is going to become unglued with it because he doesn't want people to know about this stuff. Delay. And it's going to be unfair because it was released before the election. First, a month before the election, this information is being released, and it's so unfair. No presidential candidate this side of Hillary Clinton has ever been treated so unfairly with last-minute information being reported or something. How's Donald Trump going to react to the release of this information? What type of impact will it have on Trump? Well, I mean, we know how he's going to react. He's going to lose his mud, but what type of impact is that going to have on him? All right, let's see. Two of Wands. Preparing actions. He might already be, let's see. Two of Wands. The double card. Why not? It's Donald Trump. The Burden. The Fool. Oh, of course. And the Five of Wands. The Argy Bargy card. The Hillbilly Brawl card. Okay, so what will Donald Trump do with this information that's being released? In some ways, he's already planning it. He's going to try and activate his base and get people all riled up. This is going to be a problem. You know what? I think when this information gets released, he's really thinking about trying to get out of Dodge. The burden, it's an incredible burden that's going on here. I think the double card, his actions have caught up with him. He's trying to find, he's a fool for what he's done. He's done this all to himself. But but he's going to try and come up with a new plan to get out of it. I honestly think where he would go with it, it seems like he's going to try and rile up his base and, try and intimidate Judge Chutkan by having people, taking to the streets and turning over garbage cans and cars and setting things on fire, trying to delay the case. But I just think that this is going to be really hard on him. He's got a lot of things coming down on him. So Judge Mershon is supposed to rule on the criminal trial. It's the 5th. We've got 13 days before that happens. Less than 2 weeks. And then, just a little over a week later, this information gets let out, and a week after that, it might get released to the public. So there's going to be some tough times for him. This is going to be difficult. Okay, let's try this. What is the cumulative effect of potentially Judge Mershon having sentenced Trump, this information being released? We'll have been past the debate for nearly a month at that point. What's going to be the impact on Donald Trump with all of these things coming on a month before the election? There's your hostage card. He's trapped. He's feeling trapped and no way out. But the thing is, he's done it to himself. He's done this all to himself. This is my Kamala Harris card, but I think once upon a time, Donald Trump had everything. The world was his oyster, but he took it all for granted. And now he's looking at prison time. Because he couldn't control his emotions. He lost an election. This all came about because he lost an election. And look at this card out too. The information's out. The information's out and he's stuck. He's looking at prison time with this. He didn't appreciate what he had. He couldn't control his emotions. He was a crybaby because he lost the election. Tried to say the election was wrong. He couldn't possibly lose. Got his minions to do his work for him, and now he's stuck. He's stuck there. He's trapped. He's trapped at that point. Beginning of October, the second week of October, he is emotionally trapped, and he might physically be trapped at that point. But it's like, you talk about the walls closing in on him. It's going to be the walls have closed in on him at that point. And emotionally, psychologically, he's going to feel trapped. That could also trigger a health event with him. I know we've been talking about these health events forever. And he's been having health events, and allegedly shot at. Listening to him slur his speeches and stuff, whether that's other health events like mini strokes or something like that. But this one could give him the Fred Sanford moment because it's just everything coming down. Part of it does. Part of when I did that reading was looking at Judge Mershon, and does Judge Mershon issue a ruling on the criminal case? That will certainly play a part in it. And then this other information coming out about what he did, what he said, who he was saying it to, so on and so forth. And the media is going to cover it all. So there's not going to be anywhere where he can hide from it. And this, again, the thing is that this is evidence that's collected by the government and submitted into a court case, which means that it's effectively irrefutable. I mean, the defense will try and refute it, but it's sworn testimony by other folks under penalty of perjury. And this is going to be a difficult thing to crawl out from underneath, especially because, Trump probably did everything that they're going to say he did, even if he denies it in his fantasy world where he doesn't do anything wrong ever. So put a pin in it. We'll revisit this topic in about a month's time or hopefully we'll even have news in about a month's time. And the election's only 2 months away. So do your part. Get out and vote. Vote up and down the ticket. Vote for the candidates that best represent your values. And we should be okay. Thank you for watching this video and supporting my channel. I appreciate it. I hope you found this reading insightful, and I understand, again, this is for entertainment purposes only. Have a great one, and I'll catch you on the next video. Take care.